Another afternoon game will be played between these two teams tomorrow, and that will officially get everybody to 4 days of rest. The All-Star break, Home Run Derby on Monday night, the All-Star game on Tuesday night, and Cleveland will be the site of all of that action. The Reds break out of the first base dugout and make the field. Jeff Brantley, we talk about the two games in which these two clubs split earlier this year up at Progressive Field. And the guy the Reds have on the mound today was a winning pitcher in that one Reds win, and Anthony DeSclafani.
You look at both of those ball games, and the Reds were actually able to hold the Indians' offense down. 2 runs in Game 1, 2 runs in Game 2. But Game 1, tomorrow's starter Trevor Bauer was on the mound. It was a 2-1 victory. The Reds were held down even more so. So I just think that this is one of those series that it could probably go either way. You get a different look at DeSclafani, who is really, in June, has thrown the ball awfully well. He's only allowed 1 home run, and that seemed to be just the monkey that kept him from having good ball games earlier. You keep the ball in the ballpark, he seems to win.
Now the Reds are facing a young man today who, if you beat him, it won't be any day at the beach or the attempt to beat him. Shane Bieber has been very, very good. In fact, was announced as an all-star pitcher yesterday.
Marty, you look at a young pitcher, and Shane Bieber just got to the big leagues last year, won his first 9 decisions on the road. He's 12-2 on the road. Hasn't fared as well at home, but you think, okay, young pitcher would pitch better at home, not on the road. It's the opposite for this guy, so maybe he's going to be comfortable. Maybe this will be another 2-1 game. We'll see.
Well, we've been used to some awfully good pitching of late. The Reds, of course, come in having their pitchers throw 23 consecutive scoreless innings, and all of those shutout innings came at the expense of the Milwaukee Brewers. And back-to-back punch-outs is what the Reds bring into this game tonight. And we'll see how things, or shutouts, I should say, and we'll see how things pan out in this, the opener of 2 with the Indians. Our first pitch presented by Belterra Park Cincinnati on Kellogg Avenue off I-275. And it'll be Francisco Lindor to lead things off. An all-star in his own right. In fact, this is his 4th straight all-star appearance for the American League. The wind-up and the pitch, and he shows butt, takes high a ball, and this game is underway. 90 degrees, our game time temperature, and humidity up there along with the high temperature. The 1-0 pitch, and Lindor lifts it out of play as it slices back into the seats off the left field line. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Batting at .293, 12 home runs and 30 runs batted in for Lindor. Red shift to the right side of the infield for this left-hand batter, and he takes that one up and outside, and the count's 2-1. He is one of 4 Indians who will be a part of that American League All-Star roster. The guy facing the Reds, as we mentioned, Shane Bieber, was announced as a pitcher yesterday. Here's a very high fly ball. It's hit well back into deep right, and that swing of the bat sends the Indians in front 1-0. 2-1 pitch. Number 13 for Lindor. And they open about as good as you can with a home run to right. That's the 16th home run that DeSclafani has given up this season. That start he had against the Indians back on the 12th of June, a 7-2 Reds win. He allowed a run on 4 hits in 5 2/3 innings, and he's given up a run to the first batter he faces here at GABP today. Here's a ground ball up the middle, and playing perfectly was Derek Dietrich. Fields the ball, wheels that throw on to Joey Votto, and there's 1 out. Mercado not wasting any time as he takes a quick offer. And the batter will be first baseman Carlos Santana.
Well, there are 2 guys in this Indians lineup that you really have to make your pitches to, and you can't make mistakes. One of those being Francisco Lindor, and the other is this guy.
This guy is Carlos Santana, riding a 10-game hitting streak. The first pitch to him is way high for a ball. He is one of the foursome that will be in the All-Star game in Cleveland Tuesday night, along with Lindor and reliever Brad Hand, and we mentioned Bieber announced yesterday. That one's popped up on the infield. Going back on it, Suarez. Coming over for help is Iglesias, and he makes the catch, and they're 2 down after the home run to right by leadoff batter Lindor. Here's second baseman Jason Kipnis with 2 out. Calling balls and strikes today is Dan Bellino. At first, David Rackley. At second, crew chief Larry Vanover. And over at third is Chad Whitson. So Kipnis, 235 average, 6 homers, 32 RBIs, bats him left-handed. And the first pitch to him is taken on the inside for a strike. On the outside corner, and very quickly Kipnis in a hole at no balls and 2 strikes. Working quickly is the Reds right-hander, and a swing and a miss on a good off-speed pitch in on his hands, and the inning is over. But a leadoff home run by Francisco Lindor has staked the Indians to a run. And now the Reds come to baseball's 2 biggest events of the summer back-to-back. The action begins at the T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN July the 8th, this Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then catch baseball's biggest stars at the 90th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard on Tuesday night. On Fox, coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Jesse Winker, Shane Bieber, ball 1. This young man has walked only 23 batters in 104 and a third innings, so he'll be throwing strikes. He works relatively quickly, and there's a swing and a foul ball. And after an 11-5 rookie year last year, comes into this game with a record of 7 wins and 3 losses, making his 18th start and his 19th appearance. He's had 1 appearance out of the bullpen. Coming with a break-even pitch to Winker, and that one is hit hard to center field, and that ball is going to be caught on a diving grab by Oscar Mercado.
Ball is crushed.
I don't think you could fault Jesse Winker for thinking, what the heck do I have to do to get a base hit? I mean, Mercado made a heck of a play on that ball. He had to break back quickly and then had to time his leap for the ball as he went airborne, made the catch, went down on his belly, and was able to hang on to the baseball.
That's a do-or-die play for a center fielder. The ball hit that hard directly over your head. You're doing everything you can just to try to catch the ball. You could see Bieber raise his hands as if to say, oh, my goodness.
So now Joey Votto stands in with 1 out, 1-0 to score in favor of the Indians. And Votto looks at the strike away. Hitting a .271, but over the last 33 games, a .358 batting average for Votto. Strike 2 call. Again, keep in mind the Reds are seeing Bieber for the first time in his career. Out in front of the count, no balls and 2 strikes with Votto now and Eugenio Suarez waiting in the on-deck circle. That swung on and pulled foul. I said first it's his second appearance against the Reds going back to last year. He started against them on the 15th of August, but did not factor into the decision. He gave up 3 runs on 7 hits with 2 walks and 5 punchouts over 4 1/3 innings of pitching. And Votto fouls another pitch off. I mean, all Bieber's done is thrown strike after strike after strike to Votto.
That's his mantra anyway. The thing for Bieber is he's got that fastball that's real short. It almost comes out of the back of his hat. Very quick arm action, straight over the top with a little bit of tail to it. He can throw the curveball and the slider for a strike. Different speeds, of course.
He's back to the plate, and Joey lets it pass. It's a ball high. One ball and 2 strikes. If you joined us late, Francisco Lindor led the game off with a home run to right. against the 1-0 Indians lead. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think if you're Roberto Perez and you're catching Shane Bieber, you have a pretty good idea about where he's going to throw the ball most of the time. His command is awfully good, evidenced by the few walks that he has.
In the air, center field. Mercado has time to get back leisurely on this ball, and he makes a catch. Eugenio Suarez, the 2-out batter. Reds on Radio and Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Welcome, Reds on Radio affiliate Fox Sports 1260 WNXT AM. They hail from Portsmouth, Ohio, and they have a good group here today for endless things to do all year long. Stay close to CincinnatiUSA.com. Here's Suarez with 2 out. Ball strike. This is another throwback day for the Redlegs as far as their uniforms are concerned. That coming from the 1939 season. You're not a big fan of the caps, though, huh?
Yeah, they're blue and red. I just like red and white. Maybe a little black.
Line drive into left. That's a base hit.
But I get the throwback thing.
Well, no, you have a right to like or dislike uniforms.
Right. I like the uniforms themselves, but I just don't understand the blue thing. Because if you didn't know, if you came to the game today, you would think it was the Indians playing the Indians.
Yeah, but again, let's go back to one fact, and that is that blue is not a favorite color of yours to begin with.
Well, I don't mind blue. I just don't like blue and red together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
a rebel color.
I got you covered, Bubba. Here's Yasiel Puig with 2 out after the base hit to left by Suarez. Bieber stretches, pauses, and pitches, and it's high ball 1. I would think we've got a goodly number of Indian fans here in attendance
This
today.
is a great crowd.
A huge crowd, no question about that. And that's okay. I know people get all bent out of shape about Cub fans showing up, St. Louis fans show up. They have the same money that we have. That money spends. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 out.
This Reds team keeps playing like they're playing. There's going to be a lot more people in this ballpark.
No question. Well, you beat the 2 top teams in this division. You beat the Cubbies 2 out of 3. You take the final 3 of a 4-game series against Milwaukee. No small accomplishments. Either one of those series wins. Foul ball.
Well, it was truly, I think, a marked moment for this club to realize that they're good and that they can play, as they beat the dog out of the Astros.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just face it. They just flat beat them. Now, I get the couple of players, 2 or 3 that weren't there. I don't care.
No, that's immaterial. I mean, everybody catches somebody during the course of a year. They're either at full strength or they're woefully undermanned. That ball is driven hard into right center field. That ball is out of here.
And he's strong. And he's strong.
Line drive, 2-run home run that just got into the second row of seats. It went out of here to the right of the 370 mark, and Cincinnati has turned a 1-run deficit into a 1-run lead at 2-1. Wow.
Now, when that ball came off the bat, I thought it was just a line drive into the gap.
Yep.
That's the difference between a normal hitter and a monster for a hitter.
So Yasiel Puig delivered the Reds' first runs of the game. The first run delivered to you by Integrity Express Logistics, your hometown logistics professionals. Visit IELfreight.com. Here's Derek Dietrich, and the Cleveland native takes the first pitch strike. Number 20 for Puig. He reaches a half-century mark and runs batted in. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. That home run traveled an estimated 377 feet. This Reds home run powered by NOCO. NOCO Start Dead Batteries.
His nickname may be the Wild Horse, but he is strong as a wild bull. My gosh.
Big time strong.
No kid. I mean, that's dumb power.
One ball and 2 strikes on Dietrich. And he fouls it off. Had a chance to spend some time last night during the Rockin' 150 birthday bash here at the ballpark, which, by the way, was a sensational event. A great idea by the powers that be in this organization, and it was an overwhelming success. But spent some time with Derek's mom and dad, and he was surprised last night. His girlfriend, who is a noted tennis player in her own right, Monica Puig, was in town. He knew she was going to be here. He did not know when, and she got in line when the photo ops were taking place.
That's pretty cool.
And she just showed up in front of him, and it was really an interesting get-together, having not seen each other for quite some time. Dietrich strikes out swinging, but the Reds do damage. A 2-run home run by Puig at the end of 1. Reds 2. And the Indians won on the Cincinnati Bell Reds radio network. Now the Indians got a game-opening home run by Lindor. The Reds counter by getting a 2-out, 2-run home run from Yasiel Puig. And now we go to the top of the second. Ramirez, their third baseman, and another left-handed bat in this Indians lineup leading it off. He takes the first pitch for ball 1 as we welcome in from the Cincinnati Enquirer, Bobby Nightingale.
I was scared looking at the forecast today that it was going to be raining around game time, but this looks nice.
Well, see, I've got 3 weather apps on my phone, and one of them says it will be no rain until sometime after 5 o'clock. We'll all take that.
Yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and that's a line drive foul into the seats down the right field line. Let's first get to Alex Wood. He's pitching tonight, a rehab, right?
Yeah, he got scratched from one last week, so finally gets to take the mound tonight. He'll throw 2 innings or 35 pitches, whichever comes first.
What comes after that, Bobby?
I think he's got to make at least 3 or 4 rehab starts. David Bell didn't want to commit to anything. Right. I think they just want to, after so many setbacks, it's just one step at a time. But I think you're looking probably at at least 3 weeks, maybe a month.
Strike 3 call to Ramirez. Breaking ball, he drops over on the outside corner. So 2 strikeouts for DeSclafani, and now we'll go to work on the left fielder, former Tampa Bay Ray, and Jake Bowers. So 2 innings or 36 pitches.
Yeah, whichever one, long first inning, that'll be it. But I've always thought, if you get to the point, if you get to August, you could always just make him a reliever, and then you could have him throw 2-3 innings at a time, kind of like how Hader was used when he first came up.
Yeah.
So you don't have to build up his innings for so long. But it looks like as of now, they still want him as a starter.
Ball is fouled back and out of play by Bowers, a .238 hitter, but with some pop. He has 10 home runs this season, and that pitch is up and away a ball. You have a piece coming out tomorrow that will chronicle or document the relationship that exists between Joey Votto and Nick Senzel.
Yeah, I got the idea from Jim Day's podcast. He had Nick Senzel on recently, and Senzel mentioned at the end of it, just after a game, Joey Votto came up to him in the clubhouse and said, "I just want you to know you're the best player on our team, and you're the best player on the other team to take the field." And obviously that meant a lot to Nick, but so I just asked him to kind of go in depth about it, and Nick said, during his rehab last year, he had a broken finger, missed a couple of months. He said the one guy who texted him on a regular basis was Joey Votto.
How about that? Pretty cool.
Yeah, and Joey just talked about, when he first came up, he felt like rookies kind of had to hold back. They were intimidated a little bit by, an older clubhouse, and he certainly said he felt that way. And so his goal was just to make Senzel feel as comfortable as possible when he came up, and that's what he's been trying to do by saying, you're the best player. You don't have to be in a shell. You don't have to feel like you're defined by anything. Just be yourself, and you'll be better than all of us.
That's pretty cool. Credit to Joey Votto. This young man has a lot of talent, and for a guy of Votto's stature to say something like that's got to mean an awful lot to him.
Yeah. And I asked Joey, do you do that, to other rookies and stuff like that? And he kind of just laughed it off. He's like, have you seen Nick play? He can run, he can play center. He'll be the best hitter on our team pretty soon. He almost made it sound like, how do you not see the potential in this kid? How could you not,
Sure.
reach out to him as much as possible? And try to make them feel open.
Jake Bauer strikes out swinging, and it's a 1-1 count on catcher Roberto Perez with 2 outs here in the second. And now a called strike. And tell you what, right now, DeSclafani throwing the heck out of the ball.
That Votto, that thing you're talking about, those are the leadership things that you have to have in a clubhouse, especially from your older guys. Because if you don't have that, then you don't know as a young player what direction to go.
Foul ball. Now, you going to the All-Star game?
I am. First time I'll be covering one. I went to one as a kid, and then this will be my first time as a writer covering
The one
one.
as your kid was in Minneapolis?
Pittsburgh, actually.
That's right. You said that the other day. I remember that now. 1 ball and 2 strikes trying to end the inning after striking out Ramirez and Bowers, and time called by Perez. He backs off the plate. So you're leaving on Monday?
Tomorrow. So I'll go leave
the
tomorrow
Derby?
morning to cover Futures game first. And then,
Oh, that's right. That's Sunday night, right?
yeah, correct.
2-2.
Taylor Trammell will do it for the Reds. He did it last year. He won
Yes, he
MVP,
did.
so
Sure did.
gets to go back for a second time. Nice guy. Kind of, I've always said he has kind of like a quarterback personality. Just the way he talks to the media commands the clubhouse.
It's a good way to put it.
3-2. That is a good way of putting it.
He shows confidence.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Man, you got to have that up here.
he hasn't had the greatest of seasons. He's dealt with some injuries. I think he's trying to make some tweaks to his swing, but one of those, he's the top prospect in the system now.
Yeah. Fly ball hammered right center field. That baby's going to be off the wall, and Perez will settle for a long single as Puig comes up throwing. 2-out base hit, and the inning continues for right fielder Tyler Naquin. He's a number 9 8-hole batter.
Have we seen anybody challenge his arm?
I don't
Yasiel Puig, I'm talking about.
I can't remember anybody.
It just seems like more time, no matter how fast the guy is or the different teams that we play, American or National League, they all stop at first base if there's any play at all at second.
It's always funny to see the reactions at first, when Yasiel's trying to urge him on, try to take
Or
second.
he'll back up. Look
Yeah.
like he'll act like he's bobbling a little bit.
Naquin, a left-handed batter, hitting at .267. He's homered 6 times while driving in 21 runs. 2-1 Reds here in the top of the second. Any members besides yourself of the writing fraternity going up to Cleveland?
I don't think anyone else from here is going.
Yeah.
I'll see my dad up there, and so that'll be cool just to see him for a few days.
Your dad's probably covered about 48 All-Star games.
Yeah.
Something like that.
The one thing he doesn't want to cover is the home run derby, so I think I'll be stuck helping USA Today out with that one. But he's not a home run derby guy.
Really?
Come on.
He might be the only person I've ever heard of or talked to that was not a fan.
I loved it as a fan. I don't like it as much on TV, but like in person, it's an amazing event.
It really, truly is. 1 strike and nothing on Naquin. The check of the runner at first onto the plate, and it's high and outside a ball. Getting back one more time with Alex Wood. So now you think there's a chance he could open once he's activated up here as a relief pitcher rather than going right into the rotation?
I think that you could accelerate his return that way. David Bell he said there's no change in plans of him being a starting pitcher.
Right.
But if Malley and Disco keep doing well, it has to be an option.
Foul ball off third. Nice running catch by Suarez to end the inning. Enjoy Cleveland. Reds lead by a run. And they've got Nick Senzel to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Comes in today batting .267. He's homered 8 times. He's knocked in 27 runs. Then it'll be Iglesias. Then it will be DeSclafani. Shane Bieber serving up a 2-run home run to Yasiel Puig in the bottom of the first. Senzel waves at it. Amanda got a Facebook message a couple of days ago, and it was kind of interesting. A young man from Huber Heights, Ohio. He currently is a teacher in Oslo, Norway, and he is a huge Reds fan. Listens religiously. His name is Gary Malloy Jr.
Had a baby.
And From afar, he rarely, if ever, misses a game, which is no small accomplishment when you consider the time difference between here and Norway.
So what time do you think it would be in Norway
You know,
right
I'm
now?
not sure. I think
Is it later or earlier?
probably 6 or 7 hours. Huh?
Got to be later.
Yeah. But I thought it was really cool. It was a long message. Here's a bouncing ball hit to third, and the throw by Ramirez just in time.
Tell you what, Senzel hustles now.
He sure does. It is 10:41 at night. So let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's 5 hours difference. 6 hours difference, and he is in the second inning, and it's almost 10:45.
That's
And
about my dinner time.
Gary Malloy, God bless you. Yeah, this is normally Brantley's dinner time, a little bit later.
Gary, just kick back.
He ain't watching no baseball game or listening to any at this time of night. That pitch is taken, and the count's a ball, a strike on Jose Iglesias.
Perfect time for a big slab of ribs. You know, they do ship international.
Yes, they do.
Montgomery Inn, that is.
Yeah, swing and a miss. Iglesias, a .289 batter with 5 homers and 33 runs knocked in. Bieber dealing, and Iglesias taking. Count evens at 2-2 with DeSclafani on deck.
Better get this Cincinnati Bell trivia question of the game. Text the word vote along with your answer of A, B, or C to 66128 for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
Ground ball in the hole, and the pick, and the throw to first. Not in. Oh, I got to look at that, maybe. It got there on 2 bounces from Lindor to first baseman Carlos Santana, and it was a photo finish, and the out was called, and apparently the Reds figure that's an out. They're not going to even challenge the decision, and the 2-out batter is DeSclafani.
You can win a pair of tickets to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, a $25 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, and a free haircut from Great Clips. All brought to you by Cincinnati Bell, connecting what matters. In 1939, Marty,
That's wonderful.
the Reds had 2 pitchers win 25 or more games on the season. They must have pitched more than 5 innings. National League MVP and Triple Crown winner.
Ground ball backhanded by Santana, and the flip on to first is in time. We'll have to wait till the 5th inning.
Yeah, we will.
That's good. But now we've tickled their interest a little bit.
Yeah. Top of the 3rd here at Great American Ballpark. Reds on top of the Indians 2-1 here in this game 1 of a 2-game series. Reds and Indians split the series 1 apiece in Cleveland earlier this year. And now with 2 games here, if you're going to win it, you got to win them both. The tie, well, the cup stays exactly where it's at. And DeSclafani right now trying to win 2 ball games. He won in Cleveland, trying to do it again here on this afternoon. And the right-hander will go to work against his counterpart, Shane Bieber. Bieber will swing the bat for the first time this year, and then back to the top of the order, Francisco Lindor and Oscar Mercado. 9-1-2 for the Indians. Bieber's numbers on the road, as we talked about earlier, 12-2 in his brief career. Coming up last year, throwing the ball awfully well with a 3.46 ERA. But you look at his interleague ball games, and he has had a very difficult time in those. 1-2 with an ERA above 10. And DeSclafani, a fastball just off the outside corner, 1-0. And the righty back to the dish, and he nails the outside edge with that fastball. DeSclafani's got a bit of giddy up to that heater today. 95-96, and that one fouled straight back. Another 96-mile-an-hour fastball just on the outside corner. And he is quickly ahead of Bieber, a ball and 2 strikes. Trying to put him away here. And a breaking ball called strike 3 over the inside corner. Bieber had already turned and was heading back to the dugout before home plate umpire Dan Bellino even made the call. 1 down. Third strikeout of the ball game for DeSclafani. And now Francisco Lindor led off the ball game with a home run right into the Reds bullpen, actually right on top of the Reds bullpen. And a first pitch breaking ball over the outside corner, strike 1. And the pitch that Lindor hit was a fastball up around the neck, and he was able to get enough of it to drive it out of here, and he takes back-to-back curveballs over the outside corner. And DeSclafani ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. The pitch. And that one's fouled straight back. 3 consecutive curveballs right over the outside edge, and this time Lindor takes a swing at it. Reds did a whole lot of moving around once they got Lindor to 2 strikes. 3 infielders on the right field side of second. Fastball well under the hands at 97. This time, DeSclafani did not miss out over the plate. He got that one well in off the plate. The 1-2. Fastball up and away, and this time Lindor lays off. So from 0-2 to 2-2. Got to put him away here. Back to the plate, DeSclafani. Fly ball, deep center field. Senzel back to the track. He leaps, and he got it. Not sure that was the perfect judgment of the baseball, but a tremendous adjustment by Nick Senzel. Ball was hit just to the right of the 404 sign, and it was hit well. And as Senzel went back, I think right at the last second, he realized the ball was going to tail back towards center field coming off the left-handed hitter's bat. And he had to do quite a bit of quick stepping to make that leaping catch. 1 down, and here's Mercado, strike 1. 2 down, excuse me. Seen a couple of very nice plays by both center fielders here in this ball game. That was a nice play by Senzel. And we saw Mercado, who is at the plate now, with an outstanding play on a drive over his head by Jesse Winker as the Reds came to the plate in the top of the bottom of the first inning. This ball fouled off to the left side. A hot day in Cincinnati, a bit of a breeze straight out, and yes, the ball is carried. Stay out of the middle of the plate and continue to change speeds and mix them up. DeSclafani back to the dish. A tapper to the right side. Votto backhands, quickly underhanding to a covering DeSclafani. A nice job by the Reds to finish up a 3-up, 3-down third. 2-1 Reds, bottom of 3 coming up. It'll be Casada back to the top of the order. Winker and Votto. 9-1-2 due up for the Reds, as the Indians had in the top of the inning. Indians down 3-up, 3-down by the right-hander DeSclafani, and Bieber with a strike over the outside corner. Bieber back to the plate, and back up the middle, 2-hopper to the second baseman, Kipnis. It was a line drive as it came off the bat. It wasn't hit as hard as it appeared as it came off the bat, as the pitcher Bieber threw his glove up and kind of bailed out of the way, but Kipnis playing perfectly up the middle to retire Casale. 1 down. So here's Winker. Winker hit the ball awfully hard his first time up and got nothing to show for it, but just allowed out. Nice play by Mercado in center field on a ball hit right over the top of his head. And that pitch down and away. An off-speed pitch from Bieber. There are have not been too many pitches that Bieber has thrown out of the strike zone, especially early in the count. And that's a strike right on the outside edge, and that was a changeup here to Winker. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Cleveland righty back to the plate. And a slider down and in, and that's going to miss off the plate. Winker holds up, and it's a 2-1 count. 1 down for the Reds here in the third, leading 2-1 over the Indians. Bieber working with Roberto Perez behind the plate, and there's a breaking ball strike. A little bigger break to that pitch, more of a curveball at 82 miles an hour than the previous hard slider down and in to Winker. Winker takes it. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And a fastball tails just off the outside corner. Bieber trying to paralyze Winker on the outside edge. That's the first fastball Winker has seen in this at bat. And now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And now Winker will step out of the batter's box. Think about it a bit. Now the Reds left fielder back in there. Bieber, the kick, the pitch. And strike 3 called, and that was a fastball right on the outside corner. A perfect pitch by the Indians right-hander, 2 down. Must have judged that pitch as being down, because it was a fastball that got some pretty good bit of the plate, but it was definitely at the bottom of the strike zone. And now Joey Votto with 2 outs. And that's going to miss just a bit down and away. Changeup for Bieber has been 87-88. Normally don't see too many of those, but he has thrown 4 or 5 here to the last 2 hitters that have stepped to the plate. 2 in a row here to Votto, and threw 3 of them to Winker. And that's going to miss way inside. A slider down and in. And a 3 ball, no strike count here to Votto. Reds scored their 2 runs with 2 outs in the first, and will have to do the same if they hope to score here in the third. And there's a strike up and away. A fastball. Got plenty of plate. And now a 3-1 count here to Votto. Lindor playing straight up the middle, a bit on the outfield grass. And this one ripped into right field, but it's going to be right at Tyler Naquin for the final out. A 3 up, 3 down third. Through 3, Reds 2, Indians 1. 4th inning. Bieber back, Anthony DeSclafani back out for his 4th inning of work. Get the big fella, Carlos Santana, to begin things. Santana, Kipnis, and Ramirez, 3, 4, 5, right in the heart of the Indians' order. Santana pop out to Suarez in his first at bat, takes a fastball down and in, just off the plate, 1-0. Swing and a foul in and out of the mitt of Curt Casali, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Santana will take a lot of pitches. He will walk, but he does have 19 home runs on the year. Trying to become one of a very few Indians players in their history to hit 20 home runs before the break. And he is 1 away with 19 at the moment. Swing and a miss. Good slider down and in, and that had some giddy up to it. 92 miles an hour on that breaking ball from DeSclafani, and that was late and hard. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And DeSclafani, a long look in to Casale. They are not on the same page. Santana steps out. Now he's back in the box waiting on the DeSclafani pitch, and here it is. Hard hit, backhand dive by Iglesias. One hopper, they don't get him. Looked like it pulled Votto off the bag. Votto signals to the Reds dugout quickly as if to say, I was on the bag when I caught the ball. And immediately Votto popped up, pointed to the dugout, and decided, we're going to throw this ball around. And it appears David Bell will challenge this play. Great effort by Iglesias, diving back to his right behind second base. And he's going to be out, I believe. Votto definitely came off the bag, but I believe, looking at the replay, that it was after the ball was in the back of his mitt. And that would be the textbook rule on that. He was on the right field side of the first base bag. Looked like he was able to make the catch, make the play, and I don't think there's any doubt about that, and there is no doubt about it. So back to the dugout, Santana on a fine play by not only Iglesias at shortstop, but a fine play and a stretch by Votto, holding his foot on the bag just enough to get the out. One down, here's Kipnis. Kipnis, a strikeout victim in his initial at bat. And he rips a line drive one hopper right to Yasiel Puig in right field. Puig did not even have to move. All he had to do was wait for the ball to take the hop right into his glove. He makes the catch, and there is a single for Kipnis. And now Jose Ramirez will step to the plate. Ramirez did strike out looking in his first at bat on a curveball by DeSclafani, but he has been swinging the bat better as of late. Even though his numbers just do not look like the normal Jose Ramirez numbers. .217 batting average, only 7 home runs, and only 33 RBIs. And this is a player for the Indians that has been an offensive powerhouse over the last couple of years. Breaking ball misses downstairs. DeSclafani has fallen behind in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Votto holding Kipnis at first base. Iglesias joining Dietrich on the right side of the infield. This ball pulled foul and deep down the right field line, out of play. Ramirez has always had great pull power from both sides of the plate, really. He's had a difficult time finding holes this year. And there's a strike right on the inside corner. Good fastball down and in. And Ramirez quickly back in the box as he waits on DeSclafani here. DeSclafani trying not to give Ramirez anything out over the plate. He has stayed in and he has stayed down. And he comes back in again for strike 3. A high fastball right at the top of the strike zone. And that is back-to-back at-bats for Ramirez. He has been rung up on strikes 2 down. Jake Bauers will get his shot. He was also a strikeout victim back in the second inning. The Reds don't play Bauers to pull as much as they did Santana, Kipnis, or Ramirez for that matter, as they keep the shortstop Iglesias on the normal side of the bag for a shortstop, even though he is playing up the middle. And a first pitch breaking ball, a backdoor breaking ball, misses just off the outside corner, 1-0. Bauers, left-handed batter, playing left field on this afternoon, and he takes a fastball that tails off the outside corner, 2-0. The pitch, 3-0. So a backdoor breaking ball, a fastball away, and then another backdoor breaking ball on the 2-0 pitch. And DeSclafani is behind in the count, 3-0 for the first time here today. He has yet to walk a batter. And he has walked Jake Bauers on 4 straight. You could see a bit of frustration after the second pitch of that at bat by DeSclafani. And now he's got to go to work here against the right-hander Roberto Perez, who singled his first time up. And Perez hit it well into that right center field gap. But Yasiel Puig got to the ball quickly, and Perez not challenging his arm in any way, fashion, or form. And there's a fastball up and in. And right now, DeSclafani has got to figure out a way to get the ball over the plate. Casale sets away the pitch. And it runs back to the inside corner, but it's a strike. 1-1 count here to Perez. Yan Gomes, the catcher for these Indians for many years, and Perez really did not garner a whole lot of playing time. And here's a bullet into right field. Puig quickly up with it. The throw all the way back in. Votto will take it. The runner will be held at third base. That is Jason Kipnis, and the Indians have the bases loaded with 2 outs here in the 4th. And they've got Tyler Naquin coming to the plate. And before that happens, Derek Johnson, the Reds pitching coach, will go to the mound. That is twice now we've seen Roberto Perez hit a shot into right field. Indians got the leadoff homer by Francisco Lindor. But really, since then, DeSclafani has seemed to be in good control of this ball game. Gave up the single to Kipnis, but he came right back to strike out Jose Ramirez. But 4 straight out of the strike zone to Jake Bauers, and then the single there by Perez. And he's got to come up with a big pitch here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, and the left-handed hitting Tyler Naquin will step to the plate. And Naquin definitely no slouch at the plate. A .267 batter, 6 home runs on the year. 0 for 1 on this afternoon as he popped up on the infield to the third baseman, Eugenio Suarez, in his previous at-bat. There's a backdoor breaking ball right at the top of the strike zone, strike 1. DeSclafani back to the set, right at the belt, eyeballing the mitt of Casale. The pitch popped up high into the air, left field. Winker should have this one no problem. He does. And DeSclafani gets out of a bases-loaded situation here in the fourth with no damage. Eugenio Suarez to lead things off. Suarez, Puig, Dietrich. Yeah, when you throw those names out there, there's always a chance for a long four one. And a fastball strike over the outside corner. Bieber has retired 7 in a row since the Puig home run back in the first. And this ball fouled down the right field line into the seats, and it's out of play. Bieber the kick, the pitch, and a ground ball right side. Kipnis to it, throws on to first in time to get Suarez one down. Here's Yasiel Puig. The opposite field home run. Difference in this ball game, at least from a Reds perspective. A 2-run homer with 2 outs back in the first. Ball came off the bat, looked like it was going to be a well-struck line drive into right center field. But with the strength of Puig, that baby just kept right on trucking. And he fouls this one to the right side, out of play. First pitch fastball from Bieber. He tried to run that one right in on the hands of Puig. Bieber back to the plate and pop foul back behind the dish. Another fastball running right in on the hands of Puig. Bieber gets the ball back from the catcher. He steps onto the mound and he does a little bit of twist and turn. Not sure what that's about, but more comfortable than anything else. Here's a line drive to center, and that's off the top of the wall. Right on the yellow line. Puig will roll into second with a double. If he had any height at all on that, he's got back-to-back home runs. That was a shot. He has hit 2 balls right on the screws in his first 2 at-bats. The first one went out of here. That one very well could have gone out of here. It just happened to hit the top of the wall right off the yellow line, and it bounced right back into the field of play. But Puig now standing at second base for Derek Dietrich. So Dietrich with a chance to play RBI man here and give the Reds yet a bigger lead. They lead by 1 right now at 2-1. And it is always nice to play add-on baseball, especially when you have the lead here at Great American Ballpark. You just never know what can happen as the game goes along. Quite a breeze we have blowing out of left field at the moment. A check swing, and that one definitely fooled Dietrich, a breaking ball, and he was well out in front. Strike 1. A lot of breaking balls in the first at-bat to Dietrich, and he gets one to begin this at-bat here in the fourth. Bieber back to the plate, and another breaking ball, a curveball upstairs, and Dietrich swings right through it for strike 2. Deep breath by Dietrich. Steps back into the box. One practice swing, and he is ready to go. The pitch. Tapper foul down the first baseline. Another breaking ball. 3 in a row from the right-hander, Shane Bieber. And if you're wondering, Shane Bieber is no relation to the singer, Justin. From what I hear, Justin is more of a basketball guy than baseball. Bieber all about baseball. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball down under the strike zone. A strikeout for the Cleveland right-hander as he gets Dietrich for the second time here today. 2 down, and here's Nick Senzel. It's one of those spots. Senzel, young hitter, that he really gives you a good at bat with runners in scoring position, even though he's hit leadoff a lot at the beginning of this year. Seems like he hits leadoff more times than not against a left-handed starter. And the Reds have him anywhere from 5 to the 6 hole with a right-hander on the mound. He's ahead in the count, 1-0. Bieber to the plate. One hopper, ranked to Lindor. Wrong guy. And Lindor will throw him out. A 1-out double by Yasiel Puig. The Reds cannot bring him around.
On we go into the top of the 5th inning. It's still a 2-1 ball game. Reds have the lead, and it'll be 9-1-2. Pitcher Shane Bieber, followed by Francisco Lindor and Oscar Mercado.
As I was saying back in the 2nd inning in 1939, the Reds had 2 pitchers win 25 or more games on the season. National League MVP and Triple Crown winner Bucky Walters was one of them. Who, my friend, was the other? Was it A, Paul Derringer, B, Lee Grissom, or your buddy Johnny Vandermeer?
1 ball, 1 strike on Shane Bieber. I'm going to say pitches down and away a ball. Who's A?
Paul Derringer.
Oh, I'm going to say Paul Derringer.
So are you saying Paul Derringer because it's A? Or are you saying Paul Derringer because you think it's Paul Derringer?
Because I think it's Paul Derringer. Ground ball slowly hit right side. Nice play by Votto and a good toss to DeSclafani to retire Bieber. Yeah, Paul Derringer is my guess.
Now, see, there are some times where you say, that's my answer. That's when I know you got it. And then today you said, that's my guess.
Yeah, well, I think it's an educated guess because they were the two pitchers at the top of the rotation for a number of years back in the 30s and into the early 40s for the Redlegs. That could be a trick deal because I don't believe it was Johnny Vandermeer. Swinging a foul by Lindor. I don't think he ever won 25 games. But what's that guy's name? Grissom?
Yeah, John Grisham. No, Lee
John
Grisham.
Grisham is an author. He's from Mississippi, now lives in Charlottesville, Virginia.
I just had to add that in there because I knew you'd say Mississippi.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Every chance I get.
I know you did.
All right, we're going to go with A.
We're going to go with A.
If your memory changes, then
Throw it away for
Well, I'm not real sure what I'm doing over here. You know, that's a regular occurrence on this side.
I'm a little worried about you. You're too young to be doing stuff like that.
Well, you know.
That's me. I can get away with it because I'm an old man, but you're a young man. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Lindor fouls.
I've kind of been out of my element. My kids have been in town, and it's kind of thrown my schedule off, but I'm going to be all right.
I know you will. I have great faith in you, my man. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lindor has homered. He is also lined to center, and he checks his swing on a pitch down. We're talking about John Grisham, who's one of the great authors in this country. I've read most of the books that he's written, and I had a great booth visit a while ago from a gentleman who has established himself as a fine author in his own right, David Bell, who teaches English at Western Kentucky University down in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I was going to say, did the manager come up here to
No.
give you a book?
This is the other David Bell.
I got you.
Here's a 2-2, and that's lifted to right, and it's long enough. Is it fair? It is, and it's a 2-2 ball game. Not once, but twice now, Lindor has taken Anthony DeSclafani deep, and Anthony had the misfortune of that ball hitting the foul pole in right.
Did you see that Puig caught that as it ricocheted off the foul pole? I'm not sure I've seen that.
I don't know that I've ever seen that before. Well, the home run ball biting Anthony DeSclafani today. So 2 today give Lindor 14, and it's a tie game at 2, and the batter will be Oscar Mercado. David Bell has a new book coming out entitled Layover. A terrifically tense thriller is one of the reviews. Here's a high chop that'll be played by shortstop Iglesias, and the throw is in time, and it's 2 down in the inning. And David will be signing this book at Joseph Beth Booksellers from 7 to 9 on Monday night here in Cincinnati. He is a guy who is a great baseball fan, a great Reds fan. Received his master's degree in creative writing from Miami University in Oxford and a PhD in American literature and creative writing from the University of Cincinnati. So if you're a David Bell fan, the author, by all means, check him out from 7 to 9 on Monday night at Joseph Beth Booksellers. Here's Carlos Santana, and he takes a strike.
Layover. Boy, if you're in the baseball business, you know all about that.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Or in the travel. If your job makes you travel, you know all about that.
Santana today a pop out and robbed of a hit on a great play by Iglesias, and this ball is hit into center, moving toward right center and gathering it in is Senzel. 1 run, 1 hit. The second home run of the game by Francisco Lindor. We're in the middle of the 5th, and it's a 2-2 ball game. Reds have Jose Iglesias taking a first pitch strike as we go to the home 5th inning. 2 runs in the first, a single by Suarez, a home run by Puig. The Reds have had 1 hit since then. There's a swing and a miss, and that was a double by Puig in the last inning. Well, quickly 0-2 on Iglesias. A ground out, his first at bat. And he swings and misses, and that's a strikeout. The Reds have announced that a portion of the Split the Pot proceeds from both Friday's Rockin' 150 event and today's game will benefit the American Huey 369 and the National American Huey History Museum. At the conclusion of today's anthem, there was a flyover by 3 Vietnam War-era Huey helicopters, and it was impressive. They came over from across the river from Kentucky in formation, and it was a very, very attractive sight. 1 ball and no strikes on Anthony DeSclafani. Hard ground out to Santana in his first at bat. There's a strike. And today's scoreboard stumper brought to you by First Financial Bank. We go beyond banking by putting you first. First Financial Bank member, FDIC. And if one time was enough, he does it again. Ground ball hit to Santana. He goes to the bag, and they're 2 out. Scoreboard stumper, 5 Major League players have made the All-Star team in each of the last 4 seasons. Who are they? 4 players have made the All-Star team. Doesn't matter what league, but 4 players have made the All-Star team in each of the last 4 seasons. Name them. Kurt Casale standing in, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, certainly it does.
What about the Indian shortstop Francisco Lindor?
That would be 1. Let's see, you've got 1, 2 National Leaguers and 3 American Leaguers.
The last 4 years?
Mm-hmm. There's a squibber along the first baseline. Fielded by Santana. He steps on the bag, and what an easy 5th inning for Shane Bieber. We go to the top of the sixth inning with Jeff Brantley and Tommy Thrall and our engineer, producer, mentor, and spiritual leader, Dave Yitty Armbruster. I'm Marty Brenneman. Jason Kipnis will be the leadoff batter against East Lafayette, who's been burned twice today on home run pitches to Francisco Lindor. Now, the scoreboard stumper, 5 Major League players have made the All-Star team in each of the last 4 seasons. That's 2016 through 2019. Who are they? The correct answers so far have been Nolan Arenado of the Rockies, Francisco Lindor of Cleveland, Max Scherzer of Washington, Mike Trout of the Angels. One left. Foul ball out of play to left. To the right side, there's Joey Votto. He picks it off chest high and races to the bag. Kipnis is gone. Fans no more need to eat out when you can enjoy the ultimate appetizer from home with JTM's new Craft House Creations beer, cheese, and pretzel bites. Find his favorite game day snack in your grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together. You have a comment? Am I missing the boat here? Did I hear you say something?
You heard nothing but silence. Stone cold struggling.
1 strike and nothing to count on Ramirez, who has struck out twice. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
I'm going to say
swing and a miss.
Mookie Betts.
Who'd you say?
Mookie Betts.
That's correct.
It is?
Yeah. See, Nummy up here said, Mookie Betts hasn't been around long enough. Oh, yes, he has. That's a good job.
That's miraculous is what that is.
2-2 the count. Very
well,
nice. Good question by Rich. Good
normally
question.
They give you 1 that's on the other team or your team.
That's correct.
And maybe 2 to give it some relevance of today's game.
Correct.
He has struck out for the 3rd time.
He sure has. That was strike 3 call. That's exactly right. All 3 of them have been called third strikes. Here's Jake Bauers, who has struck out and walked. Trying for the 1-2-3 inning. And Bauers hits it out of play.
So Scherzer was the only pitcher in that group?
The only one in the group. Yep. Only one in the group.
It's not easy being a hero every year.
Not kidding, boy. Grounded foul at first, 0-2.
Number 1, you got to stay healthy. Number 2, you got to be real good in the first half. You can put up great numbers at the end of the year overall, but if your first half is not spectacular,
you don't make it.
You don't make it.
No. Holding it 2 strikes and nothing on the left-handed batting Bauers, and that one is hit high in the air behind the plate. Casale breaks back and watches it drop out of play. You come see the Reds, be sure you've downloaded Ballpark. It's the official Great American Ballpark app. Check in at the game to unlock special offers, exclusive content, and seat upgrades. Download Ballpark for free and play Baseball Bingo presented by Dynegy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jake Bauers, he came to the Indians back on the 14th of December in a 3-way deal. Came from the Tampa Bay Rays. That was the trade that saw Encarnacion go to the Seattle Mariners, and since that time has been traded to the New York Yankees. The 1-2, and that's lined into left center, and that's a hit. Quickly over is Senzel to cut it off, and Bauers throws on the brakes.
That's a great read by Senzel there. He really got a great jump. He was able to get up in front of the ball and a strong throw back to second. Because when Bauers rounded first, I think he was thinking too.
Yep. That'll bring to the plate Roberto Perez, who has, through 2 at-bats, owned DeSclafani today. He singled in the second. He singled again in the fourth. Both base hits have been to the opposite field. So right now, a 6-hit afternoon for the Cleveland Indians. The Reds have had only 3. That's a bouncer up the middle, and that's a base hit. And rounding second, heading to third is Bowers in the throw. He's out. Nope, safe.
Got his hand in before the tag got back to the bag.
Yep.
Great throw again by Senzel.
This is the second inning now in which DeSclafani has had trouble closing the door after getting 2 out. And now the Reds are going to make a decision as to whether or not they want to challenge that safe call. I don't agree with that call right there.
I think he got his hand.
I do too.
Well, I see where they're challenging it because it looked like the glove went over the top of the left hand as the sweep came across, but that's really tough to tell. They're going to have to slow this bad boy down big time.
I predict they're not going to change that call.
I don't think they will either.
Yeah, back in the fourth inning, they didn't score, but after he struck out Ramirez, then he walked Bowers, and Perez singled, and Perez is now 3 for 3. Then he got Naquin on a fly ball to left, and that left the bases loaded. Now here in the 6th inning, he gets a ground out and a strikeout, and then back-to-back base hits by Bowers and by Perez. Naquin will be up next, unless they overturn the safe call, and that obviously then would end the inning.
I believe this one is going to take a little longer than the previous determination. Well, maybe not.
No, not safe. Yep, absolutely. So the Barbasol Close Shave Manager Review brought to you by Barbasol Razors. Here's a no-brainer. Barbasol making razors. Try the Barbasol Ultra 6 Plus razor today. Now he's got to pitch out of a 2-on, 2-out jam to keep this game tied. And he'll get Naquin, who has fouled at third, but then, as mentioned, left the bases loaded in the 4th inning with a routine fly to Winker and left. That's high, a ball.
Naquin had a chance to drive in some runs back in that 4th inning and was not able to do so when he flied out to left with the bases loaded.
I just said that.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Here's a 1-0 pitch, and that pitch is high. I don't know whether he'd really be bothered if he walked this guy now with Bieber coming up.
They're going to walk him on purpose. I don't think he's going to have a chance to get by.
Nope, he's not. So they're going to go ahead and put him on base and take their chances with Shane Bieber, who's 0 for his career. This will be the second base on balls issued today by Anthony DeSclafani. Bieber has struck out and grounded out, made contact his last time up, and he waves at that pitch. In situations like this, the pitchers wish they were better hitters when they come to the plate, even though they rarely ever take batting practice seriously.
You are. You're guessing fastball, and then you swing at one that's a foot outside.
That kind of deflates your bubble a little bit, doesn't it? 0-2 on a swing and a miss.
In this situation, when you've got the bases loaded like this, is you revert back to when you were like 13 or 14, thinking, I could hit. I can hit. I can muster up some confidence. No, you can't.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball left side. And Iglesias' throw will be to first, and the inning is over. So twice now, the Indians have left them loaded. We go to the bottom of inning number 6. Reds baseball is always live with MLB At Bat. Follow the action with game tracking and video highlights, along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, breaking news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. It's your #1 app for the Cincinnati Reds.
I think we should have a little Ask Marty time while we
we have a moment to reflect upon something like that.
This is the time in the ball game, folks, where we ask the Hall of Famer to give his thoughts on any subject. Sometimes it's baseball, sometimes it's not, but it's always presented by CBTS. Today's question comes from T-Lo Reds.
T-Lo Reds.
T-Lo wants to know, Marty.
Yeah, T.
Do you have a section of baseball memorabilia in your house? And if so, what's your favorite item?
I got a whole room. Thanks to my wife, Amanda. She's the one that did it all. And there's hardly any wall space in the room, and there are millions of bobbleheads, and almost every bit of the stuff in my baseball room is something that had to do with some aspect of my career. You know what? I don't have any particular item that I think is head and shoulders above everything else. She dug out stuff that had not seen the light of day in 40 years, because I've never had anything like that. I've never had a room like that. And had it all framed, and the room is a very attractive room. But I don't think I have one item that I cherish more than any other.
Well,
Probably
they
the single.
all obviously mean something to you.
Yeah, I tell you what, the single most important piece of memorabilia is a picture taken of Joe Nuxhall and myself the last day we were together before he passed away 4 days later. That would probably be my most cherished item, and that's upstairs in a second floor room. That the basement is my baseball room. Everything in there is baseball. On the second floor, I have a sitting room that overlooks the living room and got a nice leather couch and chair and a big screen TV, fly ball center, and that's caught by Mercado 1 out. And that's I have stuff from my broadcasting days in basketball, and a lot of golf stuff up there too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It really is. 1 out in the inning. Here's Joey Votto. You got nice stuff.
Yeah,
most of yours is in your office.
Yeah, in the office. I've got some that's in the den, but I've got a ton of stuff that I just haven't taken out.
Right.
There's only so much, you can do with it.
Well, you accumulate a lot over the years in this business. Joey Votto takes a strike after Winker flies to center.
I mean, that closet in there in the office, when you open it up,
everything comes out.
Better brace for contact.
Votto hits it hard, backhanded by Kipnis at second, throwing to first, 2 out. Tell you what, Shane Bieber's been as advertised today.
He gave up that double to Yasiel Puig in the 4th, and that's the only hit he's given up. Only base runners he's given up since Puig hit the home run.
Here's Suarez, who singled and was on base when Puig homered the first.
It seems like this has been a two-man show today.
You're right.
Lindor and Puig.
That's it. Puig's waiting on deck. And Suarez at the plate, and it's taken for a strike. You're listening on your car or truck radio. Please remember to buckle your safety belt. This message brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. If you're not buckled up, what's holding you back? 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, he's not walked a batter while striking out 4. The 1-1 pitch. And that's a strike. Meanwhile, when we go to the top of the 7th, Anthony DeSclafani will be facing Francisco Lindor to lead the inning off. Two and two, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Michael Lorenzen is still throwing in the Reds bullpen.
Well, then DeSclafani may be done then. There's ball, strike 3 call on the outside corner, and that ends the inning. Reds are out in order again.
Michael Lorenzen will be the new Reds pitcher as we begin this top of the 7th inning. Lorenzen will take over after 6 innings of 2-run baseball by Anthony DeSclafani. And the only marks on DeSclafani's afternoon were 2 home runs by Francisco Lindor, who happens to be stepping to the plate. 2-2 ball game. Reds scored their 2 in the first. Lindor homered in the first, homered again in the 5th. Both solo shots. And now Lorenzen will go to work. First pitch right on the inside corner. Good fastball here to the left-handed hitting Lindor. Lindor, a switch hitter. And he waits on Lorenzen again. And that pitch just off the outside corner. And that has been a strike today, but it was not a strike on that pitch. Lorenzen to the set and to the plate, and a tapper foul over towards the Reds dugout. So it'll be up to the Reds bullpen to try to shut down the Indians and give this Reds offense a chance to put a run on the board and try to win this ball game and tally their 4th win in a row. Of course, both of these ball clubs came in today on winning streaks. The Reds 3 in a row, the Indians 4 in a row. So something's got to give somewhere. Foul to the left side, out of play. Boy, Lorenzen has got some serious fastball juice today. 97 to 99 with that fastball. And then he threw an 86-mile-an-hour changeup to Lindor, the pitch. And that's popped up down the left field line. It's going to be in the seats and out of play. Another fastball right on the hands of Lindor. Indians have 7 hits on the board. There's 2 of those long balls by the man standing at the plate. Lorenzen sets right at the belt. And to the plate he comes. And that's going to bounce up there. A changeup started in, and then the bottom fell out of it. And the count is full now to Lindor. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the Indian shortstop. Lindor, Mercado, Santana due up for the Indians here in the inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup, and boy, Lindor is some kind of hot. 1 down. That one fooled him. Changeup started middle in, and by the time Lindor lunged for it, he just flat ran out of bat. That ball ran all the way back across the plate and probably a good 3 or 4 inches off the dish. Outstanding pitch by Lorenzen for the first strikeout for him on this afternoon, and here's Oscar Mercado. Mercado 0 for 3 today. And he takes a fastball way inside as he just does get out of the way of a 97-mile-an-hour heater up and in. Grounded to second, grounded to first, grounded to shortstop. That has been the bat story for Mercado here today. And there's another fastball just in off the plate. One more time, and it's 2-0. Mercado, right-handed batter, playing center field today. Some pretty good speed as well. There's a strike right on the inside edge. And now 2-1. Mercado came into the ball game a .289 batter. But 0 for 3 here today. Swing and a miss. A changeup right in the middle of the strike zone. And Mercado way out in front of that. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And time called as Mercado steps out of the batter's box. Lorenzen has what he needs. The pitch and a tapper down the third baseline. Suarez has to hurry. He does in time. 2 down. Suarez had to come get that ball, throw on the run, and he had to do it all in one motion because of the speed of Mercado. Mercado diving into the bag, but Suarez makes the play, and that's the second out of the inning. Here's Carlos Santana. Santana has been quiet today so far. He's popped up a couple of times, grounded back up the middle on a nice diving snag by the Red shortstop Iglesias. And he swings through an inside fastball, strike one. Lorenzen back to the plate. And a ground ball right side. Votto will field it. He will underhand to Lorenzen covering. Nice inning by Michael Lorenzen here in the 7th. 3 up, 3 down. Shuts down the Indians. Yasiel Puig to lead things off for the Reds here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Reds and Indians tied at 2 apiece. Puig has had an awfully good afternoon already. 2-run home run in the first. A 1-out double right off the very top of the center field wall back in the 4th. And he will lead things off for the Reds here in the 7th against Shane Bieber. Ground ball left side. Diving snag. Ramirez the throw. Not in time. And it'll go all the way to the wall on the... All the way on the wall on the right side. That appeared as though it went into the seats on a fan's hand and then ricocheted back onto the field of play. And when that happens, it is an automatic advancement to second base. You could see Puig. He saw the ball bounce. Actually, it went into the camera well. And when the ball goes into the camera well, even if it comes back out, it's an automatic advancement to second base. Puig saw the ball come out of the camera well and stopped running and waving his arms dramatically. And then what the Indians' first baseman, Carlos Santana, did was pick the ball up and throw it to the shortstop, who tagged Yasiel Puig as he was coming into second base. And if you're a fan at the ballpark, really even if you're a fan watching or listening, you have no idea actually what was going on with Puig. You're probably better off hustling on to second base than you are trying to umpire in that situation. But ultimately, Puig will stand at second with an infield hit and an error on Ramirez. Swing and a miss by Derek Dietrich on a breaking ball. Third hit of the afternoon for Yasiel Puig. Ramirez made a great effort to get to the ball. Just did not make a real good throw when he got up. Swing and a miss. Changeup downstairs and right over the top of it is Dietrich. No ball, 2-strike count. The 5th spot in the order for both clubs has not been real kind to either team here today. Ramirez on the Indian side has struck out 3 times. Dietrich has struck out his first 2 times and down in an 0-2 hole here. Bieber to the plate. And he bounces that one up there. A nice stop by the catcher, Roberto Perez. So Dietrich with a chance to put the go-ahead run on the board with Puig standing at second base. Francisco Lindor, Indian shortstop, playing right behind him. Bieber turns it loose. And a foul ball, another breaking ball down in. Bieber has given Dietrich a steady diet of curveball, slider, changeup, not a whole lot of fastballs. And if he has thrown a fastball, it has been off the plate or up, just to show it to him, and then he comes right back with an off-speed pitch. The 1-2. And that's going to miss out of the strike zone. Tried to backdoor a breaking ball there, and he just didn't get it back to the plate. 2-2 count. Puig with a good lead at second. And the pitch to the plate. That's going to be a called strike 3. And that was a fastball. And it was right on the outside corner. 1 down. Today's Toyota Tundra Home Run Challenge contestant, well, that would be Corey Middendorf from Erlanger, Kentucky. And if a home run hit by a Reds player during today's game hits the Toyota sign, it's out in right center field, located between the PNC Power Stacks. Well, Corey, you'll win a brand new 2019 Tundra. All of this courtesy of your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Corey Middendorf from Erlanger, Kentucky. Good luck. Here's Nick Senzel. And a tapper back to the mound. Bieber goes to third. Puig is out. 2 down. Fielder's choice for Senzel. Hit that one right off the end of the bat, right back to the mound. Bieber did a nice job with his awareness. He went right to third base. And Ramirez just picks the ball up, and Puig runs right into him for the second out of the inning. You wonder now if the Reds might choose to run Senzel and possibly put a runner in scoring position with Iglesias at the plate. Iglesias has proved to hit well with runners in scoring position this year. Not as well lately as he was early in the season. He was smoking. He led the National League for quite some time in that category. But if Senzel is to get into scoring position, he will have to steal second base. And another pick to first, and again Senzel diving back into the bag safely. Senzel has 8 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught 3 times. Scooter Gennett has moved out into the on-deck circle. It appears he will hit in the pitcher's spot if it does indeed come up. That pitch fouled into the third base coach's box. Reds third base coach J.R. House will flip that one into the stands. A lucky fan with a souvenir there. And there was no show at all of Senzel running on that last pitch. Of course, with a couple of quick picks by Bieber to first base, that can change the mind of the base runner. No ball, 1 strike count. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Tied at 2, Indians Reds. Bieber long hold, and now time called by Iglesias. Bieber definitely aware that Senzel can run. He has had a couple of quick picks to first, and on that time he was really holding the ball to try to change up the tempo to keep Senzel off balance. And another pick to first, and again Senzel just does get back to the bag in diving fashion. No ball, 1 strike count here to Iglesias. Bieber sets and deals, and he just misses off the outside corner with a fastball. leaving it up at a ball and a strike. Bieber to set the pitch, and he misses high with a breaking ball. That just spun right out of the top of his hand. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Almost looked as though Shane Bieber was trying to be quicker to the plate on that pitch, and he didn't quite get his arm in the proper spot to deliver the breaking ball. And another pick to first, and again Senzel diving back safely. Iglesias back in the box. Bieber looks into Perez for the side. The right-hander sets just below the belt. Pitch to the plate. Foul to the right side, out of play. Bieber has really shown great command of all of his pitches here on this afternoon, coming off of a phenomenal start in Baltimore. 8 innings of 3-hit shutout baseball where he did not walk a batter and struck out 11. He's thrown the ball awfully well here today. And another pick to first, and again, quick tag applied by Santana. It looks close, but Senzel getting the hand in there just under the tag each time. Two ball, 2 strike count. Bieber checking Senzel over the left shoulder. The pitch. Looping liner headed towards left center field. Here comes Bowers, and he makes the catch, sliding on one knee for the final out here in the 7th.
Well, we move into the top of the 8th inning, and it's still a 2-2 ball game with Jason Kipnis leaving the on-deck circle and heading toward the plate to begin the inning against Michael Lorenzen, who enjoyed a 1-2-3-7. Anthony DeSclafani, 6 strong innings today in which he allowed only 2 runs, but he gave up 2 solo home runs to Francisco Lindor. So his 17th start of the season will go down as a no-decision outing. Kipnis has singled in 3 previous at-bats. And the first pitch stays off the plate and high, ball 1.
Well, the way I look at it right now, the Indians scored 2 runs in the first game in Cleveland, 2 runs in the second game in Cleveland, 2 runs here today.
Ground ball fielded in the outfield by Dietrich, and he throws him out. So you figure that's it then?
That's it. They're done.
Yeah.
You just got to get a run.
I like your logic. Misplaced a bit, but I like it.
It's that Mississippi theory of relativity.
Well, that's all right with me. Jose Ramirez is thrilled beyond words that he's not batting again against Anthony DeSclafani. And Lorenzen delivers, and that's a strike. He struck out 3 times, all looking. Half of DeSclafani's strikeout total was at the expense of this man right here. Now the 0-1 pitch, and he waves at it and ticks it foul. Fans now through July 7th. That would be tomorrow at Mike Castrucci Ford, Lincoln, or Chevy. When you purchase a new vehicle, you will receive 2 complimentary Reds Pick 6 ticket packages, 12 total Reds tickets in all. This deal is only available through tomorrow at Mike Castrucci in Milford and Alexandria. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lorenzen straightens up, kicks and delivers, and he started around. Did he go? No, he didn't.
Might have felt sorry for him.
Yep. All even at 2-2 with Jake Bauers due to bat next. And here's a fly ball back into right. Puig will not get it. That ball rattles around on the short hop at the wall, and the throw to second not in time. That ball fooled Puig, appeared just a bit, or just enough to allow that ball to clear him. So facing a new pitcher, Jose Ramirez changes his luck and doubles to right field. So now it'll be Jake Bauers, who has struck out, walked, and singled.
That was close.
Yeah.
Even though he tagged him on the foot, it was still close.
Right now, Casale right up in the face of Michael Lorenzen. That meeting breaks up. 1:10 tomorrow. And the pitching matchup of Tyler Mahle and Trevor Bauer. Then the 4 days off, and then the Reds are back at it next weekend in Denver against the Rocks. Trevor Bauers tomorrow, and Jake Bauers at the plate fouls off pitch one. This young man, since the All-Star game of last year and counting today, has struck out 149 times. One time they got him today. That was his first at-bat. That one fouled out of play, and he's in a hole now at 0-2. First inning was a scoring inning for both clubs. Lindor led the game off with a long ball. Then Yasiel Puig lit up Shane Bieber in the bottom of the first with a Eugenio Suarez on base, and the only run since then was Lindor's second home run to tie the game in the fifth inning. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout.
No, even numbers are better. That's an even 150.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. I can dig it. And now the perfect hitting Roberto Perez. 3 singles and as many at-bats. Go-ahead run standing at third with 2 out. The pitch. That's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Casale. Ball 1. Glance back at second. And onto the plate, and that's a ball a little bit high, 2-0. After this series is over, the Reds will still have 2 more, or will still have more interleague baseball to be played between now and the end of the season. Swing and a miss. They will be playing the Angels in a 2-game series later on. They will be games at home on the 5th and 6th of August. And then we'll be going up to Seattle to play the Mariners. So after this series, more interleague baseball. Count now at 3 balls and 1 strike on Roberto Perez.
I find that interesting that we're playing the Angels in a home and away series, because we played them a couple of games out there and now a couple of games here. Normally, it's just the Indians that we play back and forth.
Absolutely right. Yeah, they were in Anaheim on the 25th and 6th of last month, and they'll be here on the 5th and 6th of August, 2 night games. And now a 3-2 count.
I'd be interested to know how they decide who you're going to play the 2 games like that when you're in the interleague side, and it's not your considered rivalry.
Ready now with a 3-2 pitch. And a fly ball hit back into deep right field. That ball's going to carry right on out of here. Opposite field, 2-run home run by Roberto Perez, who's having a big Saturday afternoon in Cincinnati. And the Indians have jumped out in front 4-2. The home run ball has been prevalent. Great American Ballpark this afternoon, and for Perez, that's his 16th home run of the season.
And it seemed like from the first at-bat until that at-bat, Perez has been dead set to try to hit the ball up the middle or that way.
Yep.
3 of his hits now have come to right field.
Foul ball out of play. And the other hit that wasn't right field was straight up the middle into center field. Well, a big afternoon for the catcher of the Cleveland Indians. Came into this game batting .242, and he's getting well today against the duo of Anthony DeSclafani and Michael Lorenzen. Swing and a miss. Tyler Naquin at the plate, so the Reds will be challenged now with only 2 more at-bats coming up. One ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strikeout, but 1 batter too late. Roberto Perez cracks a 2-run homer. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, it's now the Indians 4, the Reds 2. Bottom of the 8th about to unfold, and it looks like the Reds are going to be sending up back-to-back pinch hitters against Shane Bieber. Josh Van Meter will be first up, and then after Van Meter, it will be Scooter Gennett. Reds have had a grand total of 4 hits today, and half of that total came in the first inning. Van Meter takes a strike. Young man who began the year at AAA Louisville just flat tore up the International League in the first month of the year, so much so that the Reds brought him to the big leagues, had an extended run here. There's a call, strike 2. But this is the first time he's played since he was recalled on Thursday from Louisville to replace the injured left-hander Amir Garrett. Swing and a foul. Nope, ball got away from the catcher, recovered by Perez, and he completes a strikeout with a throw, 1 out.
Well, Yasiel Puig has 3 of the Reds' 4 hits today. The other was the single by Suarez back in the first, and other than that, nobody's been able to figure him out.
Nope. Here's Scooter Gennett. Available to pinch hit today, will be available to pinch hit again tomorrow. And once again, reiterating what David Bell said prior to the game, in all likelihood will be in the lineup next Friday night in Denver. Swing and a miss. Right now, a 95 pitch day for Shane Bieber. And a foul ball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes, and this kid just continues to pound the strike zone. Has not walked a batter.
Let's look back at our Cincinnati Bell trivia question.
Hey,
In 1939, the Reds had 2 pitchers win 25 or more games on the season. National League MVP and Triple Crown winner Bucky Walters was one of them. Who was the other? Your choices: Paul Derringer, Lee Grissom, and C. Johnny Vandermeer. Your original answer was A. Paul Derringer. Is that something you would like to stay with?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with that.
Sure.
Yeah, I am.
The answer is A. Paul Derringer, who won 25 games to go along with Walters' 27.
Can you imagine that?
No. for the 1939 National League champion Reds. That's 52 wins between two guys.
You got that right.
That's serious. Nice job.
Thank you. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul ball is out of play. Jesse Winker waiting on deck. Bieber will be throwing pitch number 100. This 2-2 pitch to Scooter Gennett. Strike 3 call. Eight punch outs now for Shane Bieber. And back to the top of the batting order we go for Jesse Winker, who's lined to center, struck out, and flied out. Western and Southern Financial Group wants to strike out cancer every season. Every time a Reds pitcher strikes out an opposing batter, Western and Southern will make a donation to the Barrett Cancer Center. As Western and Southern says, when it comes to fighting cancer, we are all in this one together. Breaking ball for a strike. I mean, he has really been something today.
With all of his pitches.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if Francona sends him back out in the ninth. 1 ball, 1 strike. On a bounce, Kipnis at second, throwing outside, retired. Same old for Shane Bieber. On we go, top of the ninth, 4. Make Great American Ballpark your family day destination tomorrow. Take advantage of a special ticket offer. Enjoy live mascot races, face painters, games, and more thanks to Klosterman Bakery. Plus, kids 14 and younger will receive a Eugenio Suarez Fathead presented by NOCO. For tickets, visit reds.com/150. Right-hander Matt Bowman is the new fresh arm on the mound, and catching his pitches, Kyle Farmer. Leading off the ninth inning is Bobby Bradley, pinch hitting for Shane Bieber, and he lifts a fly ball foul down the left field line. Bradley, a left-hand batter. So that answers that question.
Guess we'll see Brad Hand.
Indeed. 1 strike and nothing to count on Bradley, a part-timer on this ball club. He takes that pitch in for a call strike. Batting average of 167 and 30 at-bats. 5 hits, including 3 doubles and a couple of runs batted in. Swinging at a foul, just ticked it foul. Michael Lorenzen is the pitcher of record at the moment. He worked 2 innings, allowed 2 hits and 2 runs. He struck out 3. Bradley back in the box. Bowman steps back on, looks back in. And the break, the 0-2 pitch. That's a line drive fair down the right field line on an 0-2 pitch. Bobby Bradley will go to second base with a stand-up double.
Not where Matt Bowman wanted that pitch. Left it up a little bit and out over the plate.
Greg Allen going in to run at second base for Bobby Bradley. So they got a pinch runner immediately off the bench. And what we're seeing now is and we'll probably see it again tomorrow. Hopefully that's when it will come to an end, and that is the lack of a left-hander in the Reds bullpen. They don't have anybody down there. They like to think they'll have Amir Garrett back by sometime next weekend. Here's a big bouncing ball to the right side, a productive out. Turned in by Lindor because his ground ball to Dietrich enables the pinch runner Allen to advance to third base. And here's center fielder Oscar Mercado. $36,504 show up for today's Titanic struggle. 36,504. One heck of a crowd. And here's Mercado, 0 for 4 today, has not been able to get the ball out of the infield. Second base, first base, shortstop, and third. He's tried them all. Not beyond the realm of possibility that Terry Francona could put a play on here with a Speedy Allen at third base and one out. And now the pitch, and there's a bunt with foul.
Looked like a safety squeeze.
Exactly.
Because Allen was not breaking as the pitcher came to the plate. He was trying to wait to see if the ball was going to be down on the ground.
Infield remaining in on the one-strike pitch. And he takes a pitch inside, a ball to strike, and that time showing no signs of bunting. Fans at Kroger, it's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it today or tomorrow at Kroger.com. Matt Bowman readies himself on the mound and turns it loose. 2 balls and 1 strike. Carlos Santana would bat next. Mercado trying to get the runner in from third with 1 out. And now it's a 3-1 count. A leadoff double by pinch hitter Bobby Bradley. Greg Allen came in to run for him, and Lindor's ground ball to the right side, and Derek Dietrich got the runner to third base. And that one is lined off the glove of the pitcher, picks it up, throws, out. Nice play.
Wow.
That ball found him rather than he finding the ball.
Great reaction.
It was tremendous reaction as the ball hit in and then out of his glove, rolling in the grass on the third base side. He picked it up immediately, and that's the only way he ever had a chance of getting the out. Good play. So now Santana with 2 out. And they will intentionally walk Santana and take their chances with Jason Kipnis. Third walk allowed by Reds pitchers today. However, 2 of the 3 are intentional walks. Infield back at normal depth. Kipnis 1 for 4. Runner at first goes, and They got him at second and third. That's indifference. No stolen base credited to Carlos Santana. Right, Ender Bowman trying to get out of trouble and keep the deficit at 2 runs. The pitch. And that's in the dirt, 2-0. Well, the Indians would move into the driver's seat for the Ohio Cup with a win today and one more coming up tomorrow. Needing a strike against Kipnis with runners at second and third and 2 men out. And he's now gone 3 balls and no strikes. And has Jose Ramirez on deck in the event Kipnis walks to load the bases. Now, with the lack of a left-hander, you are really vulnerable to facing a team like this Cleveland team. They run left-handed batter after left-handed batter up there. There's ball 4.
Well, you're at a point in the ball game where you're living and dying with Bowman on the mound and just hoping that he can get through the inning without allowing another run.
Yep. Catcher Farmer to the mound and now back behind the plate. And Ramirez, who we talked about him in the last inning, he struck out 3 straight times against Anthony DeSclafani and then faced Michael Lorenzen and doubled to right in the 8th inning. Was on base when Perez hit the home run that at the moment is the margin of difference in this game. That's a strike. Should the Indians go on and win this game, they will be 20-8 since June the 4th. You talk about a turnaround and a change in fortunes for a ball club. This run of success for them has done that. That pitch, a breaking ball down. They began the day 6.5 games behind division-leading Minnesota. But to carry that point a little bit further, they still have 13 games remaining this season with the Twins. They have played 6 times, and each team has won 3. So Terry Francona very enthused about what his club may well be able to accomplish. Because Minnesota was so dominant for so long early in the season, you got to figure at some point they're going to come back to earth a little bit, and Cleveland's put themselves in a position because of this run where they can really put some heat on the Twins. 1-1 pitch. And that's a ground ball, foul at first, just barely so. Votto fielded it, but a foul ball. A count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pinch runner Greg Allen, the lead runner at third base. Santana at second. Kipnis at first. After getting the rocket off the bat of Mercado and being able to recover Bowman and throw him out, he turns around. They walk Santana intentionally. And then most assuredly an unintentional walk to Jason Kipnis that puts Matt Bowman in the situation he's in at the moment. Long look down to Kyle Farmer. Now straightens up on the GABP mound. Checks the runners over and lets it go. And that's a breaking ball down, 2-2.
Well, Bowman has really good movement on the fastball today. His velocity is fine, but he's not starting the ball over the plate enough to get either a swing from the hitter or a called strike. All of those pitches are down and off the plate away.
Same thing, 3-2. Ramirez very, very patiently, without a doubt, in the driver's seat with a 3-2 count after being behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Bowman with his back flat out against the wall. Let's go with a payoff pitch, and he walked it. 5-2 ball game on his 3rd consecutive walk. And Derek Johnson making his way to the mound as Jake Bauers waits to bat. Bauers with a strikeout, a walk, a single, and another strikeout. And he steps in momentarily with the bases loaded, as the Indians do what all teams like to do, and that's add on to a lead. And now those who are getting up and going up the aisles throughout the ballpark, most of them have red on. Let's see if the trip to the mound by the pitching coach helps Matt Bowman to rediscover his control. All of these coming after 2 were out. Line drive into right field. That's going to be a hit. That's going to get 2 more runs in. And they are blowing it wide open now. They are making Matt Bowman pay for the bases on balls, and it is 7-2 Cleveland. Santana and Kipnis score. Ramirez advances to 3rd on the base hit to right. And here is Perez, not satisfied with a 4-for-4 day. He's got a chance now for his 5th hit. That's a strike. First and third, 3 runs in, 2 men out. The 1-strike pitch on the way, and Perez taking, and that's on the outside. Strike 2.
And now the Indians have sat down their closer, Brad Hand, and Nick Goody, a right-hander, has begun to throw.
Don't blame him. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Missing. Eighth man to bat in the inning is Roberto Perez. And another pitch in the dirt. The count's 2-2 on the right-handed batter. We've not seen Matt Bowman suffer through this type of inconsistent control since he came up from Louisville quite some time ago.
Just doesn't have the, whether it's lack of work or whether it's arm slot or just not feeling good on this afternoon. Normally this is not anything that we see from Bowman.
Ground ball slapped to the right side. Dietrich picks it up and throws to first. And damage done. They score 3 more times, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. 7-2 now.
New pitcher is right-hander Nick Goody. The Indians, as I mentioned earlier, had their closer Brad Hand up, but after the 3-run ninth, they will bring on the right-hander Goody. Goody coming on for the 11th time. He has a 2.77 ERA in his 13 innings pitched.
You'll be getting the 2, 3, and 4 batters for the Redlegs. Votto just started off. He's hitless in 3 at-bats today. Goody stretches and pitches. And Votto drills one toward the gap in right center. And that's a hit. That ball will go to the wall. And Joey will end up at second base with a 2-base hit. That's how the 9th inning begins for the Redlegs. Now Eugenio Suarez is single way back in the first inning. That double for Joey Votto is 389th career double, which ties him with former Red shortstop Davey Concepcion for 3rd on the all-time Reds doubles list. Nick Goody on his way to the plate with a pitch, and it cuts the heart of the plate for a call strike. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch away, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So the Indians in a position to extend their winning streak to 5 and break the Red 3-game winning streak. The 0-2 pitch. That bounces up there and picked out of midair after it ricocheted off the glove, and Perez snatched it out of midair to keep the runner at second base. One ball, 2 strikes, and off the plate again, 2-2.
You know, it's interesting. The Reds started the year with 3 left-handers, and up until the point that they lost those 3 left-handers, they had the best bullpen numbers in the National League. But when you're strapped and you can only use right-handers, and as you mentioned earlier, you start running left-handers to the plate time and time again, and you only have right-handers to face them.
Yep.
They've got to turn it up a notch, and it's just not worked out real well.
Yeah, you're operating at a serious disadvantage being in the position the Reds are in right now, and you just only hope that come next weekend, by the time they resume play after the All-Star break, they'll have Amir Garrett back, and possibly not long after that, Wandy Peralta could well be coming back.
Well, the starters really picked it up in those final couple of ball games against the Brewers.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
And you didn't really have to expose that situation in the bullpen. But it reared its head here today.
And it did. That'll bring up Yasiel Puig, who's been one of the bright lights in the lineup today, but lately that's been the rule rather than the exception. He homered back in the first with a man aboard. He doubled on a ball that hit off the yellow top of the fence in center, that yellow line, just missing what would have been his second home run, and then had an infield base hit in the 7th. So Puig's got his batting average right now up to 254, and that might well be a high water mark for him the entire season. Ball 1. Greg Allen, by the way, remained in the game to play left field. They take out Jake Bowers, and Allen, who came in as a pinch runner in the top of the 9th, stays in to play left. That's a strike, 1-1. Votto, hands on hips, taking his lead out at second base. One out here in the bottom of inning number 9. That's a swing, and he came up empty.
You know, if Puig could hit one into that left center field gap, I think if I was him, I would just keep right on running till I got to third. Well, you got a homer, a double, a single. Get that opportunity much to hit for
There's
the cycle.
something to be said for that.
Come on with it.
Yeah.
Dude can run now.
That's a very high fly ball off of first and foul ground, and Santana will not be able to reach over and make the play on the ball.
How many times you sharpen those pencils per game?
A whole lot. I like sharp points. You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I do.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. That's the famous Panasonic KP4A.
Well, it sounds like a
Jim
doggone
Day
sawmill over there.
does a commercial. You heard that? Oh, we'll get him to do it tomorrow. It's the best. An incredibly funny man. A lot of the stuff he does is not for public consumption, but every bit of it is funny.
Make for a good HBO special.
Yes, it would. And Puig strikes out swinging. So now Derek Dietrich will attempt to do in the 9th inning what Jose Ramirez did in the 8th, and that is avoid the dreaded golden sombrero. There are 2 out. Dietrich struck out, and struck out again in his 3 at-bats. So Joey Votto led off the inning with a double, but since that time, back-to-back strikeouts makes Dietrich a 2-out hitter, and he swings and fouls. Right-hander straightens up and lets it go, and it's way high, a ball, a strike. Pull foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes now on Dietrich. Back into the left-handed batter's box he comes. 7-2 in favor of Cleveland. And they need 1 more out to nail this down, their 5th consecutive win. Strikeout swinging, and the inning is over, and the game is 2. Cleveland, a winner in Game 1 of this 2-game series at Great American Ballpark on a day for home runs. Final score 7-2. We'll be back in just a moment.